call me Mystic Matt because I predict these things.
Salikhov takes on Uroš Medić this Saturday on the main card of UFC Fight Night. And Salikhov, 41 years old, getting up there in age, tons of experience, on a 3-fight winning streak right now. Recently had that first round knockout over Carlos Leal as a big underdog. Before that, knocked out Song Kanong with another spinning wheel kick, and had a split decision over Santiago Ponzinibbio in a very close fight. So taking on Uroš Medić, much younger, going to be a little bit taller, but I would say definitely going to be the less powerful person, the less physical person, with Salikhov being the more natural welterweight. Uroš Medić has fought down at lightweight before, but going to be much younger at 32 years old, still in his prime, coming in off of a first round knockout over Gilbert Urbina. Before that was knocked out by Punahele Soriano. So going to be an interesting fight. I imagine this will take place on the feet more than likely. I think if anybody's going to shoot takedowns, it'd be Salikhov with that Wushu Sanda background. But Salikhov, 5'11", so he's going to be 2 inches shorter, 70-inch reach, so going to have a 1-inch reach disadvantage, 22-5 in his career, so very good record. Had an extensive kickboxing record before that. Very dynamic on the feet, a lot of knockout power, a lot of variety in his attacks, really good footwork. Decent chin, good defense for the most part, although he has been knocked out in the recent past in the UFC and can be hit. So going to be something to look out for against Uroš Medić, who is very accurate, very technical, can spark people out too, but he's going to be a little bit taller, not going to be as thick as Salikhov, who I think is a little bit more muscled up. He's got thick legs. I would give him the power advantage more than likely, but Uroš Medić, Serbian kickboxer, very technical, feints well, can find guys on the feet. So I think this is going to be interesting. Uroš Medić, he does have a deficiency in the grappling, can get taken down and controlled. We've seen that a few times in the past, but I'm going to have to go with Salikhov in this one. I think he's an underdog, but and he's 41 years old, 9 years older. Not a good statistic when you're looking at picking somebody in combat sports, but I like Salikhov, and I like the way that he's looked as of late. 2 highlight reel knockouts against Kenan Song, which isn't really anything to write home about, but I was very big on Carlos Leal, and he went in there and just didn't have really any respect for Salikhov, kind of pushing forward recklessly and got caught and put out. So I think that's a very good win for Salikhov. At 41 years old, power is the last thing to go, and he doesn't really look to be slowing down. He doesn't look like he's 41 out there wobbling around, looks like he's missing a step at all. I think that he's still got it. I think that he's still very talented. So I think that he's got this one. I think that he'll beat Uroš Medić. He was able to go 3 hard rounds with Santiago Ponzinibbio, who again's up there in age. Hasn't looked the best as of late, but Ponzinibbio is dangerous. He's always dangerous, even at 38, 39, whatever age he is now. And I like to see that from Salikhov, having the cardio at 41 years old to still be able to push a high pace with somebody like Ponzinibbio. The only time I've really seen him struggle was with Dalby, but that was kind of a crazy fast-paced fight, a typical Nicholas Dalby fight where he was pushing a really high pace. I think that I would say he won all 3 of those rounds. But again, Nicholas Dalby, he's no slouch. He's very talented as well, and he's huge for welterweight. So no shame in that loss. And like I said, coming in off of two highlight reel knockouts. So I just think Muslim's going to be the bigger, more natural welterweight, thick legs, big arms. Medić, like I said, used to fight at lightweight. He's been finished by lightweights, coming in off of a loss by KO within his last 2 fights against Punahele Soriano. So I think Muslim's going to have the power advantage. I think he's got the experience advantage in terms of MMA and also just high-level kickboxing. I think he had 185 kickboxing wins back in the day. So been doing it for a long time. Had 70 or so KOs within those kickboxing fights. So I think that Medić, in order to win this fight, he's going to need to kind of keep Muslim on the back foot and pressure the kicker. That's how you beat a kicker like Muslim, is you got to keep him on the back foot to where he's not able to really get his timing and his range for his kicks. And I think even if he does, I like Muslim's counters on the back foot, his check left hook, his uppercuts, his movement, footwork. I think that he'll be able to find his kicks moving back. We've seen him do that in his recent fights as well. And coming in off of the nasty right hand knockout over Carlos Leal as he was getting pressured back, I like his chances if Medić is the one pushing the fight. I also like Muslim's level changes as guys push in. As a Wushu Sanda world champion, it's kickboxing with takedowns. So I think that he's going to be the better grappler. We saw him get takedowns over Li Jianglong. He would change levels against Ponzinibbio whenever he didn't like the distance or like the pressure. And he's got really good timing on catching guys' kicks. Catching kicks, getting him to the ground. just kind of stifling their kicking game, or you know, falling him to the ground if he needs to. So Medić can be taken down, 55% takedown defense. Jalen Turner got him down pretty easily. Uroš got him down several times. I want to say got him down like 7 times and just smothered him in the grappling, and that was down at down at lightweight. And I feel like Medić's kind of aggressive style leaves him open to get cracked and taken down. He gets caught on the back foot, gets caught pushing in, so it's not really in any specific instance. You know, he's getting caught a lot and getting dropped a lot. And I just don't trust the durability of Medić on the feet or on the ground. You know, I feel like he gets dropped a lot. He takes a lot of punishment. He was dropped by Semelsberger in the first round. I think he got dropped twice. Got dropped, hurt Semelsberger with an up kick or something, and then rushed in and got dropped again. Jalen Turner was hurting him bad along the fence, and then eventually choked him out. Urbina dropped him early in his most recent win. Urbina dropped him in the first round and ended up getting knocked out. And Punahele dropped him early, TKO'd him, finished him. So I just can't trust his chin against a guy like Muslim Salikhov, who's super dangerous on the feet. He's going to have a lot of weapons coming your way, a lot of power. He's very fast for his age and for kind of his physical build. And I just feel like Medić is a little bit too inconsistent. You know, he's one of those win-lose types of guys. His recent wins, you know, aren't the most impressive. You know, I don't really rate a win over Gilbert Urbina, Tim Means, Matthew Semelsberger, Omar Morales. Like, these guys are okay, but they're not great. You know, Gilbert Urbina was never very good, in my opinion. Tim Means used to be really good. The Dirty Bird used to be a huge fan, but he's just getting up there in age, and he's kind of chinny. Matthew Semelsberger, in hindsight, in retrospect, not the best win. Omar Morales, you know, losing to guys that are decent when he takes a step up in competition. Jalen Turner at lightweight, Miktabek Uroš lightweight, Punahele Soriano, like decent welterweight, good wrestling ability, good power. Not the most technical on the feet. He gets him out of there. So just not very impressed with his wins as of late. And I feel like Muslim Salikhov is too big of a step up in competition for him. His wins are all by finish, a lot of them early. So if this fight does go to the distance, I lean in the direction of Muslim Salikhov, who has the experience going the distance. 4 out of the 5 times he's gone to a decision in his pro MMA career, he's won. And I think that Medić's only way to really win this fight is on the feet. And I think Muslim's a little bit more versatile on the feet. He has the power advantage. He's got more tools, more weapons with the kicks, the combinations, spinning back kicks, spinning wheel kicks, like proven ability to put guys away with those techniques. And I think he's got the speed to match Medić as well as the ability to wrestle if needed. If he's not getting his way on the feet, if he needs to break it up a little bit, if Medić is having success pressuring him, I think he's going to be the bigger, more physical guy and have the ability to get this one to the ground, where I think that he could control Medić if he needed to. So I'm going to go with Muslim Salikhov. I think he can get Medić out of there. I think he can get the KO. I don't trust Medic's chin against a powerful guy like Muslim. And you know, Medić, he likes to start quick, leaves openings at times on the feet, so I think that Muslim will catch him. But I'm going to go with Muslim Salikhov to get this one done as the underdog by KO.